This is the Satin Lounge. If you're just joining us, Dale Guy Madison is here with us, and there's so much about his life that's completely fascinating. You can find it in his memoirs. Are you calling Dream Boy your memoirs?
Yes, it is a memoirs.
Okay.
Yes.
Dream Boy is his memoirs, the full name, because he likes full names. Satin Lounge, Dream Boy, My Life as a QVC host, and other greatest hits. Maps out his life. Are you a mentor for children who who are in the LGBT community? Have you experienced some of the devastating effects of AIDS on people close to you? What has your journey been in activism?
Well, you can't have not lived through the AIDS crisis and not have experienced some of that. You know, I'll be 55 this year. I'll step back by saying, once I turned an adult, once I was 18 and I was out working in the world, and I actually started doing the things that I love doing, I stumbled upon a company where I started learning about educational theater. Now, I'd always been involved in theater since the first grade. But what I found fascinating about this company in Baltimore, which was called Family Circle Theater, was that you could use theater arts to entertain and educate audiences on various different topics.
Right.
So when I realized the importance of theater in terms of how it could educate, jump ahead 20 years later.
Right.
20 years later, I'm in college and I decide, there's these programs, let me start and go back to what you love. It's like, what I love is using the arts to educate.
Yes.
People would come to you and they would share with you their substance abuse situation. We did theater on domestic violence. So, you had people say, you just told my story. Yeah. And you were telling your own story, or you were telling somebody else's story. And then people would share HIV status. People would share their alcoholism story. People would share their substance abuse issues. So you knew what you were doing was hitting home.
Right.
I always feel that everybody should have their own political agenda. And my agenda is to LGBT youth and stop this suicide. Because that's what was kicking. That was just, happening. So what I did was I volunteer mentored at the Los Angeles Gay and Lesbian Center, which is the largest gay and lesbian center in the world.
Yes.
Over 300 employees, 4 different buildings, programs, amazing. And I said, I want to work there because I want to be able to get to our community. I volunteered as a mentor, and then a program came up called the Empowerment Program, which is funded by the CDC. And it's basically a program that takes at-risk men, 18 to 24, Black and Latino men. And what I do is I creatively work with them to produce HIV-themed related events where they tap into their own social networks. And we I just give them the structure. And I said, here's your idea. Our first project was a condom fashion show. I said, let's go to some thrift stores. I got a sewing machine here. We're going to glue some condoms on here. I'm going to make you a couple of cute little outfits. And, we're going to do this condom-themed fashion show. And people will talk about how you look, but at the same time, we can talk about HIV prevention.
Yes. Exactly.
So I have the most amazing job. I have these amazing young men who buy into this program and they want to become leaders in the community.
That's beautiful.
They know my story. They get to, I share everything of what I've been through. So they're inspired to want to be out, be active, and save lives. Some of them are serial-converted, but it doesn't stop them. It doesn't make their lives dismal in any way. They want to save other brothers. So it's about tapping into creativity. And it's like, okay, one of our next projects is a CD album project where they're writing their personal stories about relationships and struggles and decisions in terms of HIV. Okay. And we're putting it to music. And then we're going to have a CD release party. And we got to be on this show playing some of this music.
You better come back and share some of your music. Dale, there's just so much that you are into, and we can feel your energy. We support your causes and your passion. It takes that kind of passion and posture to do what you do. To think back when you were 16 and you're kicked out of your dad's house and you're trying to find yourself and figure out what you're going to do in this world and come full circle to helping young men those ages. How does that make you feel?
Wow. You almost hit a Barbara Walters on me. Almost made me cry, but I pull it back. I just turned 17. It was the spring of my senior year in high school when I had fallen in love with this guy and I was in a relationship, and I told my father, and he gave me 7 days to get out of his house. And when I moved out on my own, I truly was like a blank-minded 18-year-old. I had no idea where this journey was going to take me. I just knew that I needed to be out. And like so many youth during that time period, I had 2 suicide attempts in that first year, that first year out.
Yeah.
So it was a scary time, and all I know is today I wouldn't want anybody to go through what I went through then, because I could have ended my life, and I would have never shaken hands with Bill Clinton. I would have never been on television. I would have never been to a Hollywood premiere. I would have never flown to Los Angeles. I would have never met you.
Oh,
so
that's beautiful.
So I'm just that's why I guess I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know. I couldn't foresee at that time, to answer your question, I couldn't foresee at that time where it would all take me. I just knew that something kept me going because, I had friends murdered around me. I had friends die of HIV. I went through all of that, and I was like, but I was still standing. I was still up. I was still healthy. I was still alive.
You were still standing for the purpose of what you do today for these kids, and it is a profound purpose. And I can recall even thinking back then, there weren't these kinds of communities that were this public anyway.
Absolutely.
To help, LGBT come out of the closet, it gets better campaigns, nothing. You didn't know what to do.
And particularly for people of color. What's so wonderful now about the Gay and Lesbian Center is that you see Black and Latino faces so that these youth know that, I am you, you are me, and, so it gives them a place of home.
It's very important that your existence is so necessary, and I know I'm speaking for mothers who, my daughter's gay, and
you're shocked that I have a gay brother?
I didn't know I was going to have a gay
Right. You don't have a choice in this.
It just is what it is. But I'm so glad that she has the resources around her that I didn't. And that is a direct link to you. People like you who are activists, people like you who are on the front line, who are face-to-face with these kids and listen to their stories and give them inspiration of what they could become. Actually, tangibly looking at you and touching you and hugging you and saying, God, I could grow up to be like Dale.
They call me Big Mama. The guys call me Big Mama.
I love it so much.
Lord. I try to get out of a dress, but they always throw me right back into it.
What else is happening for you in the near future? You mentioned some of these programs coming up. Can we go see them? Can we donate to them? Can we participate somehow externally to help you with your quest?
Yes. The empowerment program provides us with funds to be able to get these kids started in these programs. But what they need most is support.
Right.
So they need people to come to the events. The events that we throw for the community are free. You can come to the Los Angeles Gay and Lesbian Center at the Village at Ed Gould Plaza. We're there usually every day, Monday through Friday. We have drop-in from 4 to 6. We have activities, try to have activities, 1 or 2 activities a week.